How's it going, everyone? This is K Collections. Dead Heat Summer Race is nearly upon us. Lots of waifus in swimsuits. If you didn't go broke for Summer 1, well, I'm sure you'll file bankruptcy for Summer 2. The charismatic Emperor Nero will be the new limited 5-star servant, summoned as a caster. Let's see how good of a servant she is. As always, I'll break down her stats, skills, and give some CE and team recommendations. Upon release, Nero has the same attack stats as Ilya, being the second highest out of the 5-star casters. Don't let that fool you though, it may sound high, but compared to all the other 5-star servants, it's one of the lowest. Adding her low damage modifier, you aren't going to deal a lot of damage outside her class. For HP, it's the second lowest out of the 5-star casters. Her NP gaining stats are low, but thanks to high hit counts, her NP gaining multiplier is quite decent. The optimal way to charge your NPs by performing an Arts Quick Arts Brave chain, which will give you around 35 to 40% charge. Stargen is decent as well. Most Brave chain combinations will give you roughly 15 to 20 stars or so. Active skills is where Nero truly shines. The skills have great synergy, focusing on her offensive playstyle while offering slight survivability. As mentioned, Nero has decent NP gains. With a 50% NP battery, this offers you a lot of CE flexibility, specifically CEs with starting NP, allowing her to activate her Noble Phantasm turn 1. Typically, you want to keep your servants in good health, but the extra NP gains when half her health is depleted will only help her with NP spamming. But I wouldn't purposely make her lose half her health for this reason, unless you're like a horrible master or something. Now, what's great about her boost in NP gains is that upon activating the skill, Nero will automatically gain the buff status regardless of health. For example, let's say Nero has full health, you activate the first skill, she gets her NP charge and NP gain buff status, but the effect isn't active because her health is too high. Let's say she gets bullied and loses half her health the next turn. When that happens, the buff will then take effect. Basically, you don't have to wait till she loses half her health to activate this skill. Use it as soon as possible, the buff will naturally occur. 7 Crowns is a very unique and awesome skill. Not only does it buff her attack and defense, but while this skill is in effect, Nero will nullify any effective damage done to her. This means Riders, Alter Egos, and Berserkers will deal neutral damage to Nero. The reason why this is so great is that Nero can be a solid servant during mixed class quests. The best part is that it's on a 5-turn cooldown, meaning you'll have this effect active most of the time. Keep in mind though, Nero's damage output is not affected. Her damage against Riders will remain ineffective. Undying Magus is the only supportive skill she offers, but it's a good one. This helps tremendously with damage and survivability. Obviously, she can benefit from this skill as well. Only issue is that it's on a 7-turn cooldown, so you'll have to decide whether to use it as an offensive boost, potentially sacrificing the guts, or save it for survivability, potentially sacrificing a well-timed attack. Max out her second, first, then third skill in that order. Some may argue that her first skill takes priority. I don't disagree, but even at level 1, 30% charge is significant. Increasing her attack and defense, most importantly, having it on a 5-turn cooldown is more beneficial for long battles. Passives are great as well. It's the reason why she has decent NP gains. Her Noble Phantasm is very straightforward. It's a damage dealing AoE that pierces invincibility, which of course ignores evasions as well. What's great is that the overcharge increases her NP damage. By using it last within an NP chain, it'll increase the strength. Add in her 2 attack buffs, this makes Nero quite a solid damage dealing caster. For CE recommendations, you need to increase your damage output, so any craft essence that increases your attack or command cards are effective. Golden Suma is a solid choice since you can turn 1 NP if its max limit broken. Before Awakening, even Kiss Your Hand can be effective since it increases performance of all her command cards, resulting in better NP gains, damage, and star gen. White Cruising is a 4-star craft essence which you can get in the same banner as Nero. I recommend this the most because it is absolutely stunning! My god, it's gorgeous! This increases most of her attacks, most importantly increases NP gains, which will help her with spamming the attack. Increasing only her buster can be effective as well. I'd recommend 0 over for the high percentage, but First Sunrise or Partake with the King can work if you want to perform a turn 1 NP. I wouldn't suggest Joint Recital or Victor from the Moon or any crit buffs because of her low star weight. Other areas of concentration would be her NP damage. Black Growl is perfect for clearing waves if you can charge your NP immediately. Having Waver will do the trick, but I don't recommend using this for long battles. Use Heaven's Feel instead because even with Guts, Nero will just die next turn. Since Nero is essentially a DPS servant, increasing her low star weight is ideal. With Heated Sands, she will have a star weight of 225, which is comparable to Riders. This will also help with NP gains when she crits with her art, as well as making her an overall better damage dealer with normal attacks. For team compositions, Waver is probably the best supporter for Nero, more so than Merlin, but Merlin's still great, not taking anything away from him. Reason why Waver is more preferred is because between him and Nero, you can turn 1 NP using skills alone, offering you a lot more CE flexibility. Within 6 turns you can do it again, helping with Nero's NP spamming. Another reason why I like Waver a bit more is that they have great NP synergy. By using Waver's NP first, you debuff defense, and because you're using Nero's NP second or third, her overcharge effect increases, therefore damage increases as well. Hijikata can be your main DPS servant and will work well if you have a supporter like Merlin. Reason why Hijikata can work with Nero is because he can kill high HP bosses, something Nero may struggle in. Hijikata can increase her buster performance, in turn, Nero can increase Hijikata's attack while giving him gut status, which he desperately needs. What's best about her guts is that it's a 1 HP revival, therefore maximizing Hijikata's NP and crit damage output. Paul is an excellent farming companion with Nero. I wouldn't suggest using her on challenging quests, specifically with difficult breakbar enemies, but I do recommend using Paul for single bar waves with high HP. Paul can increase buster performance, but the key for this team would be her 2 defense debuffs. One from her skill, another from her AoE NP, which you should use first so that Nero's overcharge increases, dealing a lot more damage specifically against assassins. So that's 2 AoE NP attacks with 2 defense debuffs during Nero's attack, which will be at overcharge level 2 or more. Mash is another solid choice. Again, it's to take full advantage of NP chains. Using hers first will increase attack and overcharge for Nero. What Mash can also offer is survivability. Combining Mash's defense buffs with her own, Nero can be quite the tank in battle. The best part is that Mash shares the same command cards as Nero, besides their NP attacks of course. Having 4 to 5 arts between the 2 servants will give you a lot more NP bonuses. Same thing for Buster. Having 4 to 5 will give you more damage bonus. Final thoughts on Summer Nero. She's an excellent caster servant, overall great 5-star, but there are noticeable weaknesses that affects her. Nero is an offensive servant with great defensive capabilities, specifically her class disadvantage nullification, making her great against Berserkers and alter egos. Not so much against Riders. Yes, she will take neutral damage from them, but her attacks are still ineffective. Nero's main focus is to use her NP attack often. Thankfully, she has a 50% NP battery with 2 attack buffs. Should her HP fall below half, her NP gains will increase, helping with NP spamming. Finally, her third skill, being targetable, offers some support, especially to glass cannon type servants. For weaknesses, most notable one would be her damage outputs. Casters in general aren't heavy hitters compared to other servants. Her attack stats are high for a caster, but in comparison to everyone else, it's low. Adding her low damage modifier, it affects her overall performance. This means Nero will need strong offensive supporters. Another issue is that Nero relies on her arts and extra for NP gains, but you're not going to perform Brave Chains often, meaning it's important to have other art servant give her NP bonus or first card bonus. Overall, Nero isn't the strongest damage dealer, but she's very consistent and one of the most effective servants to use against assassins and berserkers, whether it be for farming or boss battles. On more difficult quests, specifically against neutral bosses with break bars, she isn't the best choice. I do recommend Caster Nero, but she isn't a game changer. If you already have effective servants for farming or boss battles, honestly, you can skip her. If you don't, 100% try to summon her. Besides, it's Nero in a swimsuit. Need I say more? Special thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon. So, which summer servants will you go for? Comment down below, I'd like to know. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more FGO content. Follow my Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Good luck on your pulls, everyone. Have an awesome day.